Late again. If this is a challenge that you're having, then good news, because I've got Clare Fowler, employment solicitor extraordinaire, if you don't mind me saying, Claire, with me from Yes Law to give you the legal perspective on lateness issues. So Claire, what top tips have you got for school leaders dealing with lateness as an issue?
Hi, Sonia. Thanks for having me. I think the first thing that I would say is be inquisitive and try to be inquisitive without prying. Rather than jumping to your own conclusion about the reason why this person is being late, give them the opportunity to explain it to you in their own words. You can't force them to take that opportunity, but give it a try, because it is important to establish the reason why someone's being late so you can take the appropriate type of action. For example, if the reason is that the bus was late again or the traffic was bad, they need to take responsibility for factoring that into their commute. And if they don't, then it could become a conduct issue, misconduct. But if the reason is that they have a medical condition that could be a disability, and the medication that they're taking at night makes getting up early really difficult, you need a different approach. For example, you can ask them, have they discussed possible alternatives to that medication with their GP? Is this going to be a permanent issue? You also need to think about, is it actually essential that they arrive by a certain time?
Brilliant. So be inquisitive, and actually what that turns up will help direct where it needs to go. Is it actually really their responsibility, or is it something, something more specific, you say, like a medical reason that then needs to be investigated and supported, I guess, as far as is practicable? Is that right, Claire?
Exactly. And it's always worth thinking about what is actually essential in this context. So essential isn't because that's what it says in their contract, or it's because what everyone else does, or it's because it's what you do. Essential means, if they don't turn up, it will be a safeguarding issue, or it's going to have a serious and detrimental impact on other staff if they're not there for a particular time. So, you need to think around what essential really means in this context.
Yeah, really useful. As with everything, this is a top tip. So we're literally skimming the surface to give some pointers. But with all of these things, I know it gets a lot deeper, doesn't it, Claire? When you get into the details, there can be a lot more nuance.
That's right. And I mean, if it is a conduct issue and it doesn't improve after a couple of informal chats, then you can potentially start a disciplinary process. You need to have a look at your policies and procedures for how to go about that. Similarly, if it's a capability issue linked to sickness, you can potentially then work with your employee to explore possible solutions.
Nice. Brilliant, Claire. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to give us on this top tip before we wrap it up?
I think that's all on this one. Thanks, Sonia.
Squeezing it into the time available. Thank you. And look, if you found this useful and you'd like to feel really clued up on the legal aspects of managing underperformance, then Claire joins us for our conference, Kindly and Effectively Tackling Underperformance in Schools. And she's going to be showing how to avoid the pitfalls and common mistakes that, sadly, as leaders, we can get ourselves into without knowing all the information. Claire will be joining us at our conference, and our link is below. And you're going to be getting more top tips from Claire and myself. So do check them out, and don't forget to subscribe.